If you've been toying with the thought of selling your home and you're wondering when the best time to sell is, this video will answer that for you. So, historically, Realtor.com has said that March 9 through 15 is the best time to sell a home. So, with that comes, of course, the early spring market. A lot more buyers are coming out. You're going to drive competition with the buyers, which should hopefully drive your cost up and give the seller a little bit more negotiating power. So spring is typically, historically, the best time to sell a house in Massachusetts. Of course, in the winter, it's February 12th right now. So in the winter, you are going to have less inventory. You're going to have less buyers. So on the inventory end, you've got less inventory. The buyers that are out there are going to be more serious buyers, and there will be less for them to choose from. So if you've got to sell in the winter, you're still in a good position. Buyers are out there searching, but I will say, um, the snow definitely has an effect on buyers. The 2 feet of snow that we have outside right now has caused buyers, and the cold has caused buyers to really hibernate a little bit more than typical. We've had a little bit of a slowdown, which naturally happens in the winter, but when it's extra cold or there's a lot of snow on the ground, it happens even more. So, if you're selling in the winter, you're going to have less competition on the selling side. There's less options for buyers to choose from, but there's also less buyers. So buyers typically have a little bit more negotiating power in the winter. Spring market, everyone's coming back out, everyone's ready. There's more inventory, but buyers are more competitive and they're ready to go. Typically, buyers with families are going to want to get into a home before school begins. So you've kind of got that March to July timeframe because it's going to take 30 to 45 days after an accepted offer to close on the property typically. So March to July, you've kind of got more of a competitive time frame. Of course, when we hit those holidays, the July 4th weekend makes it a little bit more difficult. So spring is really the ideal time. And as Realtor.com says, March 9 to 12 is the best time in Massachusetts for sellers to buy or for sellers to put their house on the market to sell. So I've got my Prep Your Home to Sell brochure pulled up here. This is what I typically give my sellers when they're thinking about selling. These are the things that you want to get done. So my brochure kind of breaks it down room by room, and I'm happy to send this to you if you'd like. All my info is in the description. But typically you want to have, number one, your first impression. It's the first thing that buyers are going to see when they pull up to your house. So you want your landscaping, your exterior to be good. Buyers are going to notice what the home looks like. Obviously, with all of this snow outside, a little bit different on the landscaping end. But once this snow melts and spring is here, you're going to want your lawn to be mowed, the trees trimmed, shrubs trimmed, all of those little things, clean up the exterior so that your first impression is the best thing that they see. You don't want people to pull up to a home and then decide right off the bat without even going inside that it's not for them because of the curb appeal. So curb appeal is number one. Number two is check off all of your maintenance items that you've been kind of holding off. If you've got light bulbs that have been out for a while or drywall that needs to be patched or spots of paint that need to be cleaned up, whatever it may be, any of your to-do list items that you've been pushing off, get those things done. All of the lights should be working in the house. All of your light bulbs should be the same tone, the same color, and just make sure that everything is flowing nicely. The home looks like it's prepared for another family or another person to come and move into. So prep your home. It's good to start prepping now if you're thinking about hitting the market in the spring. We're currently in early mid-February. So if you want to reach that March market, spring market, you really want to have your house done and prepared in the next 2 weeks and ready to go. For me personally, I can have a photographer over to your house once we've got a signed listing agreement. I get my photographer over there as soon as possible. Like as soon as you're ready, I've got a photographer there and we're taking photos so that we can hit the market in the next 24 hours. So things can happen very quickly if you need them to or you want them to. But the spring is very typically the best time for a seller to put their home on the market. So if you have any questions at all, if you want my brochure, my seller's guide, anything like that, all of my resources, they're all, just shoot me an email and I will email those over to you. My info is all in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you're thinking and happy to help you out however I can.